Most of us have been brainwashed anyway, brainwashed by society, by our upbringing, by the limitations others have placed on us. We've been brainwashed to believe that life is hard, that money is scarce, that dreams are for dreamers, not doers. So if we've already been brainwashed with ideas that limit us, why not take control of the process and brainwash ourselves with ideas that liberate us instead? Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success wherever they go? It's as if they have some kind of magnetic force pulling opportunities their way. What do they have that others don't? I'll tell you what they have. They have a success consciousness. They've trained their minds to recognize and seize opportunities that others miss. They've brainwashed themselves for success. The fascinating thing about the human mind is that it believes what you tell it most. Tell it you can't, and you're right. Tell it you can, and you're right again. Your mind is the most fertile garden you'll ever cultivate. But you've got to be careful what you plant, because whatever goes in will surely come out. When I was a young man, I had the good fortune of meeting my mentor, Mr. Schofield. He said to me, Jim, for things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. That simple philosophy changed my life. I realized that my outer world was merely a reflection of my inner world. If I wanted different results, I had to become a different person. And that's what brainwashing yourself for success is all about. It's about deliberately choosing to become the kind of person who deserves success, who attracts success, who creates success. It's about changing your thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, your associations, and ultimately your life. Now, let me share with you the key principles of this process. These are the fundamental elements of brainwashing yourself for success. First, you must understand that your mind is like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. Quality in, quality out. Your mind processes the information you feed it. So the question becomes, what are you feeding your mind? Are you filling it with doubt, fear, and limitation? Or are you filling it with faith, courage, and possibility? The average American watches television for 4 to 5 hours every day. That's about 1,500 hours per year. Now, I'm not against entertainment, but I have to ask, if you spent even a fraction of that time, say 30 minutes a day, feeding your mind with ideas that could change your life, what might happen? If you read 30 minutes a day, that's about 25 books a year. In a decade, that's 250 books. Do you think your life might be different if you digested the wisdom of 250 books on success, leadership, personal development, and financial independence? I guarantee it would. My mentor used to say, miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss your reading. He understood the power of feeding your mind with quality ideas. This is the first step in brainwashing yourself for success, controlling your mental diet. The second principle is repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishment. You see, it's not enough to hear a good idea once. You've got to hear it again and again until it becomes part of you. When I was starting out, I listened to personal development tapes in my car. I'd listen to the same tape 10, 20, sometimes 50 times. People would ask me, Jim, don't you get bored listening to the same thing over and over? And I'd say, no, because I'm not trying to hear it. I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to internalize it so deeply that it becomes my automatic response. That's why I encourage you to not just read a good book, but to study it. Don't just listen to a valuable lecture or seminar, but replay it in your mind. Take notes, review those notes, and discuss what you've learned with others. This repetition is crucial to the brainwashing process. The third principle is association. You must carefully choose who and what you associate with. Jim Rohn, that's me, is famous for saying you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it's true. Your income, your health, your attitudes, your success, they all tend to reflect the people you surround yourself with. If you want to be successful, find people who are already successful and spend time with them. If you want to be healthy, associate with health-conscious people. If you want to build wealth, connect with those who understand financial principles. And it's not just about people, it's also about the environments you put yourself in. The seminars you attend, the organizations you join, the places you go, all of these influence your thinking. So choose wisely. The fourth principle in brainwashing yourself for success is affirmation. Affirmations are positive statements that describe a desired situation or goal as if it were already true. When you repeat them often enough, they begin to shape your subconscious beliefs. Now, some people think affirmations are just positive thinking mumbo-jumbo. But let me tell you, the most successful people I know all use affirmations in one form or another. They might not call them affirmations, but they consistently feed their minds with empowering statements about who they are and what they can achieve. Here's a simple but powerful affirmation: every day in every way I'm getting better and better. Emile Coué, a French psychologist, taught this to his patients in the early 1900s, and they experienced remarkable improvements in their health and well-being. Why? Because what you constantly affirm eventually becomes your reality. The fifth principle is visualization. Your mind thinks in pictures, not in words. When you create vivid, compelling pictures in your mind of what you want to achieve, your subconscious mind begins to work on making those pictures a reality. Olympic athletes use visualization techniques all the time. They see themselves performing perfectly, completing the race, making the shot, sticking the landing. They experience the victory in their minds before they experience it in reality. I recommend setting aside time each day, perhaps in the morning when you wake up or at night before you go to sleep, to visualize your goals as already accomplished. See yourself living in the home of your dreams, running the business you've always wanted, enjoying the lifestyle you desire. Make the pictures as vivid and detailed as possible. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? The more real you can make it in your mind, the more real it will become in your life. The sixth principle of brainwashing yourself for success is action. All the knowledge in the world won't change your life unless you put it to use. As the ancient Chinese proverb says, to know and not to do is not yet to know. Success isn't what you know, it's what you do with what you know. So many people attend seminars, read books, listen to audio programs, but never implement what they learn. They get excited, motivated, inspired, but then they go back to their old routines, their old habits, their old results. Don't let that be you. Take action on what you learn, even if it's just one small step. Remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And each small step builds momentum that makes the next step easier. Now, the seventh principle, and this is crucial, is persistence. Brainwashing yourself for success is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong process. You don't go to one seminar, read one book, or listen to one lecture and suddenly transform your life. Change takes time. New habits take time to form. New beliefs take time to solidify. Many people give up too soon. They try something for a week or a month, don't see immediate results, and conclude it doesn't work. But success is more like farming than hunting. In hunting, you go out, spot your prey, take your shot, and either succeed or fail right away. In farming, you prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water, fertilize, protect against pests, and then, with patience, you eventually reap a harvest. Brainwashing yourself for success is like farming. You're planting seeds in your mind, seeds of possibility, achievement, and abundance. But you must nurture those seeds over time. You must protect them from the weeds of negative influence and the pests of self-doubt. And if you do this consistently, eventually, inevitably, you will reap a harvest beyond your wildest dreams. Let me tell you a story about a young man I met years ago. He came from a poor background, had limited education, and had already failed in several businesses. But he attended one of my seminars and became fascinated with this idea of brainwashing himself for success. He started reading books on success and personal development, not just reading them, but studying them, taking notes, applying what he learned. He began listening to educational audio programs during his commute instead of the radio. He sought out successful mentors and joined a mastermind group. He wrote out his goals and affirmations and reviewed them daily. He visualized success and took consistent action toward his dreams. His friends and family thought he had joined some kind of cult. They laughed at him, criticized him, tried to bring him back to reality. But he persisted. Within 1 year, he had started a new business that was already showing promise. Within 3 years, that business was generating more income than he had made in the previous 10 years combined. Within 5 years, he was a millionaire. Today, he owns multiple successful companies. and lives a life he once only dreamed about. What changed? Not the economy, not the opportunities available to him. What changed was his mind. He brainwashed himself for success, and success responded accordingly. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but Jim, I've tried positive thinking before, and it didn't work for me. Well, let me ask you, did you really try it? Did you immerse yourself in it? Did you persist with it through the initial stages where nothing seemed to be happening? Most people who say positive thinking doesn't work have dabbled in it, not devoted themselves to it. It's like the man who purchased a plot of land after hearing about gold being discovered in the area. He dug for weeks but found nothing. Discouraged, he sold the land to someone else. The new owner resumed digging, and just 3 feet deeper than the first man had gone, discovered one of the richest gold veins in the region. The first man had given up too soon. Don't make the same mistake with your personal development. Remember, brainwashing yourself for success is not about denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. It's about seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. It's about believing in your ability to overcome whatever challenges life presents. Let me share with you a powerful technique I've taught to thousands of people around the world. I call it the mental movie technique. Each night before you go to sleep, create a mental movie of your ideal life. See yourself as the main character, living exactly as you want to live, doing exactly what you want to do, having exactly what you want to have. Make this mental movie as detailed and vivid as possible. What are you wearing? Who are you with? What are you doing? How do you feel? Play this movie in your mind for about 5 minutes before drifting off to sleep. Why is this so powerful? Because your subconscious mind is most receptive right before sleep. The images and thoughts you plant during this time can work their way into your deep mind and begin to influence your beliefs, attitudes, and actions. Do this every night for 30 days and you'll begin to notice subtle shifts in your thinking and behavior. Do it for a year and you may barely recognize the person you become in the best possible way. Another technique I recommend is what I call success immersion. This involves surrounding yourself with success messages at every possible opportunity. Put inspirational quotes on your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, your desk, your car dashboard. Listen to motivational audios while you drive, while you exercise, while you cook. Read success literature before bed and first thing in the morning. Attend seminars and workshops whenever you can. The idea is to so completely immerse yourself in success-oriented messages that they become your default way of thinking. Just as water takes the shape of whatever container it's poured into, your mind takes the shape of the ideas you immerse it in. Now let's talk about something that many personal development teachers don't discuss, the resistance you'll face when you begin to brainwash yourself for success. This resistance comes from 2 sources, external and internal, and understanding it is critical to your success. External resistance comes from the people around you. When you begin to change, when you begin to think differently and act differently, not everyone will be supportive. Some will mock you. Some will try to protect you from disappointment by encouraging you to be realistic. Some may even feel threatened by your growth and actively try to sabotage your efforts. Why does this happen? Because your change makes them uncomfortable. It challenges their own choices. It disrupts the familiar patterns of your relationship. And most fundamentally, it confronts them with the possibility that they too could change if they were willing to do the work. How do you handle this external resistance? First, understand that it's normal and expected. Second, respond with compassion rather than anger or defensiveness. Many of these people genuinely believe they're looking out for your best interests. Third, find a community of like-minded individuals who support your growth, a mastermind group, a success club, or even just 1 or 2 friends who share your commitment to personal development. As for internal resistance, this is the voice in your head that doubts, questions, and criticizes your new way of thinking. It's the voice that says, "Who are you kidding? You can't do this. Remember all the times you failed before? What makes you think this time will be any different?" This voice is your old conditioning fighting to maintain control. It's the old program trying to prevent the new program from taking over. And just like external resistance, internal resistance is normal and to be expected. The key to overcoming internal resistance is not to fight it directly, but to consistently feed your mind with the new program until it becomes dominant. It's like cultivating a garden. You don't eliminate weeds by attacking them. You eliminate them by growing healthy plants that crowd them out. So when that voice of doubt speaks up, don't engage with it. Instead, immediately replace it with your affirmations, your visualizations, your success statements. Over time, the voice of doubt will grow quieter, and the voice of confidence will grow stronger. Let's talk now about the role of emotions in brainwashing yourself for success. Your emotions are incredibly powerful forces that can either propel you toward your goals or hold you back. The key is to harness your emotions rather than being controlled by them. One way to do this is through what I call emotional anchoring. This involves deliberately linking powerful, positive emotions to your goals and aspirations. For example, if one of your goals is to build a successful business, take time to really feel the pride, joy, and satisfaction of achieving that goal. Experience those emotions as vividly as possible and anchor them to your vision of success. When you do this repeatedly, those emotions become associated with your goal, creating a positive feedback loop. Thinking about your goal triggers the emotions, and the emotions motivate you to pursue the goal. Another aspect of emotional management is learning to transmute negative emotions into constructive action. For instance, instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as a signal to prepare more thoroughly. Instead of letting rejection discourage you, use it as motivation to improve. Instead of letting frustration cause you to quit, use it as a sign that you need to adjust your approach. The most successful people aren't those who don't experience negative emotions. They're those who know how to use these emotions as fuel for growth rather than obstacles to it. Now, I want to address a critical aspect of brainwashing yourself for success that many people overlook: your self-concept. Your self-concept is the image you hold of yourself in your mind, and it acts as a thermostat for your life. If your self-concept is set at mediocre, you might occasionally rise above mediocrity through extraordinary effort. But eventually, you'll fall back to your self-concept level. To permanently change your results, you must change your self-concept. You must see yourself as worthy of success, capable of success, and destined for success. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens through the consistent application of the principles we've been discussing, controlling your mental diet: repetition, association, affirmation, visualization, action, and persistence. When you diligently apply these principles, your self-concept gradually shifts. You begin to see yourself differently. Your internal dialogue changes from "I can't, I can," from "I'm not good enough" to "I'm getting better every day," from "That's impossible for someone like me" to "If others can do it, so can I." And as your self-concept changes, something remarkable happens. Your behavior automatically aligns with your new self-image. You no longer have to force yourself to take actions consistent with success. You take them naturally because they're consistent with who you now believe yourself to be. This is the true power of brainwashing yourself for success. It's not just about changing your thoughts, it's about changing your identity. Let me give you a personal example. When I first started in personal development, I was an ordinary guy with limited education and even more limited financial resources. But I decided to brainwash myself with the idea that I could become a successful entrepreneur and teacher. I read everything I could get my hands on about success. I listened to audio programs constantly. I attended every seminar I could afford, and some I couldn't really afford but invested anyway. I surrounded myself with people who believed in me and my potential. I affirmed my goals daily. I visualized myself speaking to thousands of people and positively impacting their lives. At first, nothing seemed to change, but I persisted, and gradually, almost imperceptibly, my self-concept began to shift. I started to see myself as the person I aspired to be rather than the person I had been. And as that shift occurred, my behaviors changed accordingly. I became more confident, more disciplined, more focused, more resourceful. The result? I've been blessed to speak to millions of people in thousands of venues across the world. I've written books that have helped countless individuals transform their lives. I've built successful businesses and helped others do the same. And it all began with the decision to brainwash myself for success. You can do the same. Regardless of your background, your education, your current circumstances, or your past failures, you can reprogram your mind for extraordinary achievement. But you must be willing to do the work. You must be willing to persist when results are slow in coming. You must be willing to stand firm in the face of external and internal resistance. Now, there's one more principle of brainwashing yourself for success that I want to share with you, and it might be the most important of all. It's what I call success service. True fulfillment comes not just from what you achieve, but from what you contribute. The most successful people I've known are those who found ways to serve others through their success. They've discovered that the joy of achievement is multiplied when that achievement improves other people's lives. So as you brainwash yourself for success, include service as part of your vision. Ask yourself, how can my success benefit others? How can my achievements contribute to my family, my community, my world? When you link your success to service, you create a powerful motivation that transcends mere personal gain. In my own life, I found that teaching others the principles that transform my life has brought me more satisfaction than any material success ever could. Seeing the light of understanding dawn in someone's eyes, receiving letters from people who've applied these principles and changed their lives, these are the rewards that matter most. So yes, brainwash yourself for wealth if that's what you desire. Brainwash yourself for health, for wonderful relationships, for career advancement. But also brainwash yourself for contribution, for making a difference, for leaving a legacy. Let me conclude by addressing the skeptics. Some of you may still be thinking, this all sounds good, Jim, but does it really work? Can I really change my life by changing my thoughts? My answer is simple. Try it and see. Don't take my word for it. Put these principles to the test in your own life. What have you got to lose except your limitations? The process of brainwashing yourself for success isn't complex, but it requires commitment. It requires consistency. It requires faith, not blind faith, but faith enough to begin the journey and see where it leads. Start small if you need to. Commit to 30 days of positive mental feeding. Read 30 minutes a day of good books. Listen to educational audios during your commute. Write out and recite your affirmations morning and evening. Visualize your success for 5 minutes before bed. Take one concrete action each day toward your goals. Find one person who believes in you and spend more time with them. Do this for 30 days, and at the end of that time, evaluate your progress. I promise you'll see changes, perhaps subtle at first, but real nonetheless. Your thoughts will be different. Your emotions will be different. Your actions will be different. And over time, your results will be different as well. Remember this, your life follows your thoughts. Where your mind goes, your mind as your life follows. Thoughts become things. So think the thoughts that lead to the life you want, not the life you've settled for. In closing, let me share a simple but profound truth. You are not your past. You are not your circumstances. You are not your limitations. You are a being of unlimited potential, capable of achievements beyond your current imagination. Brainwash yourself with this truth until you believe it to your core. Brainwash yourself with visions of the life you truly desire. Brainwash yourself with the conviction that you can create that life through dedicated, persistent effort. Do this, and you'll join the ranks of those rare individuals who don't just dream of success, but achieve it. You'll become one of those people others look at and say, how do they do it? What's their secret? And perhaps you'll have the opportunity to share with them what I've shared with you today. That success is not a mystery, it's a process. A process of brainwashing yourself with the right thoughts, the right beliefs, the right images, and the right actions. So begin today, this very moment. Take control of your mental diet. Choose your associations carefully. Affirm the positive. Visualize your success. Take action consistently. Persist through challenges. Serve others through your achievements, and watch as your life transforms in ways you once thought impossible. The choice is yours. The time is now. The person you are destined to become is waiting for you to make the decision to brainwash yourself for success. Thank you.